Spoiler alert, we're unpacking the whole plot, twist by twist. If you're spoiler sensitive, hit pause and come back when your TBR list catches up. Cheers!
Welcome to the podcast where our reading habits are unhinged.
And so are we.
I'm Gabby.
I'm Miranda. And this is Marginally Unwell.
This week, we have our bookish topics.
Yay!
It's going to be prompt edition. What I'd read it. The game where books meet bizarre scenarios. Think survival mode, guilty pleasures, maybe a little chaos. Probably a lot.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
We'll see what comes out.
So we're just going to jump right in. We're just going to be going through these what ifs.
Exactly.
First up on the block. If I had to survive a zombie apocalypse, what would you be reading?
Not a horror. Yeah, probably not a horror book.
Not a horror? So you would go opposite. Interesting.
Yeah, because I'm living in a horror.
I guess that's that. No, I mean that makes sense. I was thinking of it more of like I would lean into it, and I'd be reading zombie books for like survival guide.
Some of those are ridiculous. So I was thinking survival guide, like you know how they have like those survival books for surviving the 27 hours, but like you know where it's like they're living off the land.
Yeah, but I wouldn't read an actual survival. I would read.
Well, no, it would be a book about surviving. Yeah. They built a fire. Yeah. They planted these things. I'm like, that's a good idea. Should probably do that.
I know this is a movie, but I was thinking like along the lines of like, you know, Zombieland has like all the rules.
Yeah.
So like I would probably pick books like that, where it's like going through how they survived the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, like
in my head, I'll be like, okay, here's all the things that I know.
Yeah, but that's like step by step. But so yes, Zombieland is exactly that scenario.
But I totally get what you're saying too by going like, you want the escapism. You want to read.
Yeah, I want to escape.
You don't want to what the zombie.
Yeah, so
I killed more zombies.
Listen,
you live very different lives.
No, I'm not, because my thought is like I've already survived the initial apocalypse, right?
The initial takedown.
The initial takedown. Now I'm looking for something to pass my time.
I see.
You know,
you're not like in it.
I'm not in it. Like, if it was like day 2 of it, probably. But like day 90.
Also, let's be honest. Are we really going to be reading during your zombie apocalypse?
Maybe. That's what I'm saying. Like day 2 would make sense for like the how-to guy Zombieland versus.
But he didn't have all those rules. Kind of them along the way. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I kind of want to use it as a blueprint to like, you know, check if that works.
The double tap?
Yeah, exactly.
The zombie clown. Anyway,
I don't think a lot of zombie books. Now that we're like on the topic.
I've read a couple of zombie books, and then
I mean, I have read some, but like,
yeah, I've mostly read The Walking Dead because I was really into that whenever it came out. I really enjoyed it. But no, I don't read a whole lot of zombie books. I was thinking it'd be probably more like survival books, like where they get stuck in the wilderness and then you like figure it out, that kind of thing. Or if I want to like kind of survive. But if I'm trying to do like escapism, probably, I don't know, probably fantasy or like rom-com, something to make me laugh. Like, there's a lot of dread around, you know. So,
next up.
Yeah. Next up, if I had to impress my literary nemesis.
I don't know how you take this.
Am I your nemesis?
No, I mean, like, I'm not how you're interpreting this question.
Okay.
So, I'd probably go The Stand, because
Your favorite?
A, it's my favorite, but B,
any excuse.
let me talk. It's a large book, right? So if we're like trying to impress somebody, like it's like 1,200 pages, you know what I mean? But then also, it's like a mind game, my nemesis, because like, oh dang, she reads like deep Stephen King, so she's crazy. So it'd be like impressive and also scary. You see?
Let's see.
Those are my top ones. How would you? Nemesis. I don't even know what that means.
Me
Who has a
neither.
literary nemesis? I just have regular nemesis. You don't have that?
No, I live a peaceful life.
My arch rival.
If I had to impress somebody with what I read, and I haven't read any of his books, but I would probably go like Brandon Sanderson.
Like you would read that.
Yeah.
Are you saying just because like
Just because,
the size of them?
no, because he
The
reads
depth of them?
the in-depthness of them, and like his books are in-depth. But they're essentially like high fantasy novels that are also puzzles.
Well, yeah.
So I would use that. Stephen King's really good. I feel like
Is if I only read fan books.
I'm trying to think of all the banned books. So I really, when I was in school, I really liked the book Animal Farm. We read that in high school. That one was really good. To Kill a Mockingbird. That one's also really good. I think is Of Mice and Men now banned? What is it? Banned. Banned. I liked that one. 1984? The Giver. I really liked that one. I don't know any more current books that are banned. Those are the ones that come to mind. Fire Hydrant, 451.
Fahrenheit.
Fahrenheit. Yeah, they needed one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. Impressive, I know. What about you?
Well, I did just reread the Scarlet Letter.
I haven't read that one.
Yeah. So that's one I can think of. The Handmaid's Tale. I feel like it's super popular.
That's banned?
I mean, I would think so.
I don't think so, yeah.
I think we did it for that was the theme when we read it in book club. Obviously, we had read it already also, but
add that one to my list. That one was good. And the Margaret Atwood is a very good author.
yeah, she is.
She's thought-provoking. Anyway, you're cheating. Just kidding.
I'm actually not looking at that one.
Modern, recent books that are banned. Yeah,
I mean, off the top of my head, but I think I'll be fine.
yeah,
I mean, I like them.
I agree.
So,
I'm not. If I time travel to the 1800s, what would I read? Have no clue when some of these books have been released, so I'm going to be full transparent. So I'm just going to say classics. And if one was written in 1902, my mind, 1800s. Okay. You first.
I would go anything Jane Austen.
Jane Austen?
Pride and Prejudice.
What? I did not think that for you.
Really? Classic romance is so different.
Okay, you're right.
Tell me I'm lying.
You're not lying, but still.
I'm just saying, freaking it's like one of
Little
my
Women
favorites.
is really good. Yeah.
I don't know what year it was released, but
We'll consider it a classic. A long time ago. I really liked The Man in the Iron Mask. That one. I really liked that. The Count of Monte Cristo. I really liked that one.
1868.
Oh, I'm trying to think. I actually read Moby Dick twice. Yeah, I really liked that. I really like that one. I don't know what it is. It's very boring. I don't know what it is. I did. She's thick. She's a thick book of nothing, too.
Yeah.
Well, not really. I mean, it's a good book. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with those. The Count of Monte Cristo, The Man in the Mask, and Moby Dick. No, they'll take some time.
I was just thinking about Moby Dick being about insane, but like it is.
It is and it's not. It's just him talking about getting this whale, and it's just like him ruining all his relationships with everybody, trying to catch this thing, and it's like, I don't know. I think it's symbolism, obviously, but
If I can only reread childhood favorites, and I think we need to preface that.
I was about to
Okay.
say. So our childhood, and I think it should be anything.
I say middle school is like the latest.
Okay, I agree.
Okay. So if I can only reread childhood favorites,
Mm-hmm.
obviously HP is top of the list.
I was about to say, it's an incomplete series at this point, but
At middle school, sure. But we'd already been reading. Okay. So I'm gonna count it. One that was big for me was Junie B. Jones. It gives me thought about how I grew up, or the person I am today. What else? For kids ones. I'm trying to think of like elementary.
elementary, I remember really, really liking, and these are like children books. My favorite children books were Chrysanthemum. That one was, I really like that one. The fish, rainbow fish. That one.
Dr. Seuss. I always like the Sneetches.
What?
The Starbelly Sneetches. Okay. Dr. Seuss.
We'll have to take a look. Then, so this was like elementary school. I really like Dr. Seuss.
Yeah, that was probably a big one for me. I was trying to think because JP was really into Pete the Cat, so I was trying to think of like that vibe, but whenever I was younger.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking. Chrysanthemum with the fish, the sparkling fish, rainbow fish. The caterpillar, the hungry caterpillar, the giving tree, and then
I mean, I can think of one-off ones like that. Like, also, if you give a mouse a cookie.
yeah, I didn't really like that one. But, so that's like young, right? So then I started getting into like chapter books.
Yeah.
And so ones that I really liked and was the scary stories. Remember those where it had like short little stories in them?
yeah.
And it had like the girl walking off the cliff or like the scary like clown thing. You know what I'm talking about? The scary stories. It's like a white cover.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Those-
I didn't get super into this. I know a lot of people were super into like Goosebumps too.
I was about to say R.L. Stein was one of my favorite ones. I read a lot of R.L. Stein.
Which, he's going to be at the that thing.
Yes. Very exciting. Go buy a Goosebumps book just for that. But anyway, I really like R.L. Stein. I think obviously Harry Potter. There's other series that I've read, but I can't. Those are the ones that stand out to me the most during that time. Middle school.
Nice.
Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul. I read a lot of those. 1 and 2. Feel good. Just like feelings. If I had to pick books based on their worst covers, I don't really know what this means. So, am I picking books based off of? I have to think of books with bad covers, or I would think of books.
Like if you could only, I'm thinking as if you could only read books with bad covers.
What would those covers be?
Like what books would they be? Because like, if you know it's actually a good book, but the cover is like.
Oh, that's not what I was thinking.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay,
What would that?
I was thinking, what would those bad covers be?
Like what was it?
I was like, not that creative. Anyway, if I knew they were good, but it had a bad cover. Now I'm trying to think of a good book.
Any romance that I like.
Any romance that you like?
Yeah. I'm saying like because I don't really romance a lot, but I have liked some. Generally, those covers innocent.
The folio. The books that you get at a gas station. The gas station romance books.
I don't really love Hypothetical ones.
Oh, yeah.
Just,
What?
yeah. But she's a great writer, so.
Probably some like fantasy. Sometimes fantasy books are like real. They give me like, ugh. You know, whenever it's like, there's like daggers and then random like weird writing.
I feel like
I'm just like,
when
what
it's
is
like
going
old
on here?
fantasy covers, but honestly, the ones oh my god, Dark Glass, those covers,
The original ones?
where it's like her, it's just like,
Oh yeah, those are the original ones.
yeah,
That or like, yeah, I know which ones. Where she's like pale and has silver hair.
yeah, and it's like her like assassin self on the front, and
Yeah.
then like her dressy herself like on the back or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, those.
And that's kind of the vibe of like fantasy can get that way really easily. Here's some weapons.
Yeah, like the swirly text. Yeah, those are very trendy. Also, I agree with you. Some romance books are very like, what are you doing? Has nothing to do with the book.
Or it's just so like, there's a guy and a girl. I don't know.
There's a guy.
We very thought into that, but yeah, or like just a dude. Like really?
Yeah, I agree with those. I think Sarah J. Maas's original Avatar series too, where it has like their face. There was like a time in like the early 2000s where a lot of fantasy books were that, where it had like the girl and she's like,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of series that I read where it was just real random. Yeah. Yeah, some of that is still
But all good books.
Yeah, they're all good books.
I think there's still some that come out that you're just like,
Yeah.
I hate this.
I can think of a fantasy or romantasy fantasy that came out last year that is exactly like the guy, and you're like, oh my gosh, how embarrassing. I can't be walking around with this book. What are you doing?
All right. If I only read books set in space. Space station. And you already know what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm going to say? You haven't watched enough episodes?
I'm going to agree with you there. And
I guess I should say it's Red Rising. You really didn't know.
That one, and then I really like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. That's a really solid book. Love it. I love the quirkiness of it. I love that it's just like a comedy set in space. The dude that has no idea what's going on. Love it. I'm trying to think of other space books. Space. You know what's on my TBR list is the Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary. That one's been on. What's also really good was The Martian. That one was really good. I don't read a whole lot of space books. There's this other book. It was like a horror. I think it was like Ghost Space Station, where it was on the little. I read this book for like my library book club, and it was a they were on a ghost space station. They like woke up and it was like the space station, the shuttle was like falling apart, and they were trying to like survive, and like some horror ghosty things were happening, and it was like a supernatural kind of thing. And I was wondering, like, how did these?
I feel like that's whenever I get most into space books somehow, is when they're like have a supernatural element.
Yeah, I was thinking that
Apparently I'm gravitated towards that.
I don't know why. So, like, where did these supernatural elements come in from outer space? You know, because you think aliens, but it's like no ghosts. And then where did the ghosts come from? How did it get haunted? They weren't dead yet.
Alien ghosts.
Oh,
Concealer idea.
Yeah.
There's another one I was trying to get.
My turn?
Yeah.
If I could only read one trope for the rest of my life, you know, I just gotta say that's gonna be really hard. For the rest of my life, I think we were just talking about this in the last episode, and I know I've said this multiple times before, is I get really hyperfixated on some things, and then I hate it.
And never want to see it ever again.
But it's usually like every 3 months. Like every 3 to 4 months, I'll pick up a genre and like that is it. That's all I read. Well, now not anymore because now I'm on this podcast. And
Well, and also I feel like book club helps break that up too.
yeah,
Try to mix it up.
yeah. More. I just feel like
go back to the same thing.
see, I can't do that because what happens is I feel like I'm reading the same book with different clothes. The same thing. Like whenever I first get into it, I'm like, oh, this is so nice. I love it. I have another, and another, and another, and you're like, that's enough pancakes. I don't need it. but I feel like a lot of them.
I tend to do that in other areas. And
Yeah,
it's not that I don't read other things. It's just like I always go back to it. Always. Like I'll have like one that I'll read, or like I'll read something for book club or the podcast. But then like I'll go back.
Yeah.
I have like the chunks like you do. Like
Really?
I will read a thriller, I will read a mystery, I'll read the very occasional romance. Usually when I'm forced to through others. Or whatever. Yeah, I think
I don't know. I need some variety. Because at some point I feel like I love it. And this is through fantasy, murder, mystery, thriller, romance, and then that romance goes from rom-com to dark romance. It feels like I get to a point where it's like, I just read this, but with their different names. And then I also get to the point where I start looking for that genre of something, but different. So I'm looking for something that is different than what it is. You know what I mean? So, or I try and find something. I find something that I really liked. Now I'm trying to search for something that's similar to that. And it's like, oh, if you liked this book, you'll love this book. And then I read that book and I'm like,
what are you talking about?
where's the correlation? It's not here. I don't know. I start getting annoyed.
My trope, which I think is that I can, if I had to pick one forever, would probably be enemies to lovers. But I also
Trope.
that's
Yeah.
what we're supposed to be talking about. Yeah, one trope for the rest of your life, and you
Okay.
went off on a tangent.
I thought it was genres. Bro.
We kind of started talking about that, but that's fine. My trope would be enemies to lovers, but I feel like that's so prevalent in fantasy that that's probably why I would choose that. Because like,
I see what you're saying. I
mean, you always see it coming, but like,
you like the journey.
yeah. I don't want to just like you right away. I have to hate you first, apparently. Which is something else we're not going to look too closely at.
So, slide on through. I guess I'm just going to go with the same. Because I feel like I read a lot of things for enemies to lovers.
Yeah.
And I feel like that transcends to a lot of genres.
It does. I feel like in fantasy that happens like so much.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I would be fine with it. Honestly, it's probably my favorite trope, so that's why I'm kind of going with that, because I don't think more outside of the like main like force proximity or like
so I'm trying
love triangle or
I'm not a big fan of love triangle. I don't like the force proximity is sometimes funny. Like there are some funny parts in force proximity.
Yeah.
I
think for me it depends on like how it is. Like in Funny Story, when they ended up in the same apartment, I was cool with that. Stranded on a desert island together, like I don't know. It's too forced for me, I guess.
Yeah, I can't think of other ones. And I feel like these are all like love interest ones. I'm trying to think of ones that are not like love related. So my thought was like, I'm going towards like murder mystery where, like crime of passion between couples or mysterious past unfolds and that's not
in the life of narrator.
I can't do it. I hate it so much. I'm already trying to figure it out.
I don't need you making it work.
I don't need a drunk person trying to help me.
Which is crazy because you love drunk history.
I love drunk history.
Which that is like, I mean, they do recent facts, so that's. I do love that. Okay,
moving on.
If I swapped TBR files with a stranger, what did that ask you?
I don't know. So it's like, because then it's like you don't know what the stranger has. It's the stranger.
I guess I'm wondering what the question is.
How would you feel about it? I'd be stressed.
I feel like I would be open to it. I know that I talk about like really leaning heavily one genre, but I really do try to branch out and like keep an open mind when I do. Even with romance, I just genuinely don't really enjoy it. But I do, whenever I do read them for like this or for book club or buddy read or whatever, I do genuinely try to keep note of it. I feel like I would go into that a stranger's TBR that way too.
That's interesting because I was thinking like physical books, and I'd be like, those are all my books.
Like physical TBR.
Yeah, like physical. But if it's like just my Goodreads, you can have that.
That is a mess. I would be probably sad. No, honestly, I wouldn't. I'd be like, thank God you took those off my plate because some of them probably really needed to come off my TBR, but I can't let it go.
You couldn't let it go. You're reporting your TBR list. I can see that. I don't know. I feel like I'd be pretty open, but I'd be horrified if I got a stranger's TBR and it was only one thing, like a specific.
If I got one and it was literally only romance, I'd be like, well, this is the end.
Only romance, forced proximity. If I could only read books my past self hated, we're pretty
current self still hates.
I'd say we're pretty consistent.
So what is a book you hate? But maybe if you could only read ones that you hated, what would you choose?
Books that I've hated. The very first book that we read for this thing, the House on the Lake.
Oh my gosh,
that one was in a.
What was that romance that we read? This is gonna be really specific. It had been in February of last year. It was the first romance one we did for book club.
Oh, playlist.
Happy Ever After.
Yeah. That one was fine. I liked it in the beginning where she's Bill's dog,
but it literally made me want to bark. The way that they're like talking to each other and like.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of romances that I just hate.
It's so crazy. But I can do that one again, I guess, if I like had to pick something. I'd rather pick that than the lake one.
I'd rather the lake one.
That lake one was. I thought you liked the playlist one.
That was okay. But I was annoyed by the playlist one because it was not. Oh, you know what I also hated? It Ends With Us.
Oh.
I rated that 1.5 stars. I also hated Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. I didn't read that one. Don't waste your time.
That one's pretty popular too.
I know. I don't see it. I don't see it.
It's also hard for me to say like hate it. If I hated a book, like
no, I hated it.
I hated it.
It was okay.
Yeah, I really did.
There's maybe like one thing I liked about the book. Maybe two.
Not like House Across the Lake.
House Across the Lake was rough. I actually, you remember those like very stupid horror movies?
Yeah.
That's what it was giving, and I didn't mind it. But it was just like absolutely like the horror movies. I was like,
is the same reason I don't watch a lot of horror movies. Is because of that. Like that was so bad.
Cheesy horror. If I know it's going to be a cheesy horror movie, I'm into it. Like the 8-Legged Freak.
But I feel like that's because you also don't really, you don't really fuck with scary movies.
That's true.
So I feel like if it has a level of like cringiness, it's easier for you to be like not scared by it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, let me on.
If I had to pick books based solely on their first sentence.
I already know your answer.
It's so good.
I don't have an intro one.
I have an intro one and an outro one.
Wow.
If you have any last ones. My intro one is Red Rising and my outro one is The Nightingale.
I'm going to skip. Because I have no clue. I didn't prepare. But I agree. The Red Rising intro, it goes hard.
Houston bars, first sentence.
So I'm like, what's happening? Yeah, it was good. That one was very good. Go ahead. Oh, is it me?
Yeah, I just read that one.
Oh, if I only read books with the dragons in them.
Bro, so many.
Honestly, for real, I think I would be 100% okay with it.
That'd be so great.
I've always liked the dragons. Maybe not all peaceful. Even into dragons.
If I could have a dragon,
It'd be the. Yeah, there's a lot of different. You know which one I really want to read? the dragon on it is what is that book called? It's gonna come to me. What's it called? Me too. Go ahead.
I don't know, all dragon books.
Oh, I'm fine with the dragon books. As long as they're not weird.
I do like when it is like highlighted more about dragons, and not just like a dragon.
It has a dragon. Yeah.
So like Aragon series.
I liked that series.
It's so good.
Yeah, I haven't read the last 2 of them, but it's on my list of things to do. But I really liked that series where they're like actually a part of the story.
Yeah. I mean, I like a fantasy world where there's dragons too, but good like story where they're a main character.
Yeah. I agree. Is it? I know it's not me. I did the
I
dragons
thought
thing.
you were saying something. I thought you were trying to do something.
No.
Okay, my bad. If TikTok decided my TBR.
I'd be worried. TikTok's crazy.
TikTok would be showing out some wild ones.
I know, I did.
I would be stressed.
There's a lot of
It's heavily-
opinions off of that.
That's true.
I
mean, TikTok to some degree does decide my TBR.
I was about to
Gives me a lot of ideas.
I was about to say, I have a lot.
But
I have
also-
like a favorites for books,
Yeah.
on there. But I feel like sometimes they, like, the way that they describe it, I feel like is better than the actual book.
Yeah, so I was just about to say that is I really need to go through my TBR as we all probably do. But I know I have several on there that I will go look at them and I'm like, when did I put this on? Why did I put this on?
100%.
And the ones that get me are whenever it's like a TikTok and somebody's like talking, telling a story, and you think it's like some tea about their life, and I'm nosy as fuck, so I'm like, this sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, it's a book by so and so, whatever, and you're what? And so then I'm like, add to TBR, and then months later, I'm like,
Why did I
do this? And I'll like read the summary, and I'm like, this doesn't sound like something I'm interested in. So they really do be hyping it up sometimes.
For real. I've been on that yeah, I agree. Because then I'm just like, why did I do this?
Yeah.
Why did I add this? This makes no sense.
But also, I found some great books on there.
The Shadow of the Gods. That's the one. That's the series that I was gonna start, and then I should have, but I couldn't start it because I was in murder mystery mode and not fantasy. Couldn't do it. But yeah, I feel like I've fallen victim to that way more times than I found like a good book from TikTok. So there have been like times where I found really good ones, but more often than not, they're like, why did I
do feel like I have gotten since like getting further into like the book talk community, I feel like I have gotten a better grasp on like which creators I like trust more for that, and so I feel like I've been more reserved than I was in the very beginning. Because in the very beginning, I felt victim to a lot of those ones, and now I'm like if I see Brady Lockerbie, how can you say her name?
The one with the lashes.
Yeah. If I see like her Rex, usually that's pretty up there for me.
I really like her.
And
I've read 3 of her books.
yeah,
I have more, but they're good.
that girl Mercedes that I sent you also. I trust a lot of her Rex also. So I feel like you like find the people that you're like more aligned with. But in the beginning it's rough because you're like, oh my god, that sounds great. And then you're like
Yes. Yes. I was falling victim to the FYP whenever I should have stayed with my influencer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I agree. I've kind of fixed that. But there are some that are still lingering on my TBR that I know.
oh, they're still on my TBR. I know. That's what but I have added a lot what was happening. I just now need to find them all again and delete.
Or remove.
Yeah.
If I could only read books where the main character makes terrible choices.
I read a lot of horror.
Yeah, I agree. Horror would be
I'm just like, you are so dumb. Get out.
a sound in the forest in the middle of the night. Let me go investigate.
Yeah.
Survivalist.
Honestly, I'd probably read a lot more romance too. Because I feel like that's part of my issue whenever I'm reading romance books.
Mm.
I'm like, girl, no. That's stupid. He's done. Leave him.
Oh.
Listen, I make enough bad choices. I don't need to read about it. Okay? I'm trying to see somebody make some right choices.
Send an example.
Exactly.
I need a role model. I would hate it. I can't. I've read books where they make bad choices, but it like all kind of like lines out and let you realize why they made those bad choices because it kind of like works out in the end. I've also read books where they're just stupid and they make dumb choices.
Like, well, you're dying first.
Exactly. I don't know. I feel like I'd hate reading if I had to just read them and make bad decisions.
I think so angry all the time. Like, these people are so stupid.
No, I just want to throw the book.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't because it's a Kindle.
I also wouldn't do that to my book.
And I don't know about throw, but like toss. An
I'd probably
exasperation.
slam it shut.
No, I toss it to the other side of the bed or the couch.
If my grandma chose my books.
Why did we leave this?
That's a great question. I don't know. I can picture my grandma being like,
Yeah.
if she read like some of the stuff that I normally read.
Oh. My
But
grandma would be like,
exactly.
just straight
That was the
disappointed.
white version of what you did.
Oh, okay. But, okay, they're not looking at what we're reading.
Okay.
They're selecting what we read. And I feel like my grandma would pick up
Oh.
stuff on, like, chickens. And she
Oh.
really likes telenovelas, so I feel like they'd be very dramatic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I feel like mine would be a lot more novel. Honestly, probably like sad. I'm thinking like Chicken Soup for the Soul vibes, but like a novel.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm thinking she would choose.
Like,
Which would be
sad contemporary.
Yeah.
My grandma loves the drama, the chisme. So I feel like I'd be.
I would not. I'd be like, oh god, I can't read this anymore. Let's move on from the grandma.
If my bookshelf caught fire and I could only save 5. So I'm gonna also preface this to where imagine all of our books were physical books.
Oh, okay.
So not just like
Oh gosh. We can't have my Kindle.
not just,
Right?
no, changing the rule. No, if all of your books were physical books, no Kindle or audiobooks. And I just made it harder for myself. Yeah. Okay, but think
I
about
don't have any savings.
I can't read by my name. What do you mean insurance doesn't replace books in the library?
Can the series count as one?
If it's one book, okay, then there's the answer. The series thing is hard because
I would definitely save my Bachman books.
I have this really beautiful book from Anne Rice, the Interview with the Vampire, The Queen of the Damned, and the Prince Lestat. And it's all one, and it's gold. It has, the pages are like Bible pages. It's beautiful. I would definitely say that. My Bridget Jones book, and that's 2. You have 1. I'm winning.
Does it count if it is one book? But I have a version where it's split up. And it's in a case.
Yeah.
Okay, then the Green Mile. But
Oh, that's good. I have the Dr. Mercedes Stephen King book.
just do like, I guess mine Harry Potter. That's fine.
My Chrysanthemum book. What is it? Gosh, this is really hard. Panicking in front of the bookshelf. Freaking our men just like, get out! What are you doing? Grab the dog! Jesus.
I picked those because I felt like they would be the hardest to get again.
I'm picking
Because
those.
everything else, I'm like, I would buy it again.
Yeah.
So,
Well, because the Bridget Jones and the Chrysanthemum book are like very sentimental to me.
yeah.
And then I'm just gonna do those 3.
Okay.
With my Anne Rice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do those 3. Everything else can burn. Then there's some cross that doesn't happen. Takes history. Anyway, if my TBR had to be decided by my worst enemy, never say know what you hate.
Probably, because everybody knows what I hate.
You make it very obvious.
I'm not shy about my hate. That would be so sad. I could never read fantasy again.
I don't know what this question's asking. What, like, how I feel about it, or what would be on it. So,
I mean,
what I would hate to only be able to read is,
I guess it's obviously because it's all one genre for you.
yeah, I think that would be it.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what yeah.
All unreliable decorator books. Only.
I quit reading. I want to be.
That's what I said. Like, read anymore.
Anyway,
If I had to read every book backwards, last page first, this would also kill me. I am not into spoilers, as we talked about during our pet peeves episode. I know some people like to read the end first, the last page, the last chapter, like to look up spoilers. I would be so sad. Because I can think of some books, like if I read the last page first, I'd be like, what is even the point?
yeah.
And it wouldn't be as impactful because
You haven't
wouldn't
built
have-
those relationships.
Right. So if I had to do it, it'd be any book that doesn't.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't even know.
It would have to be a novel. It wouldn't. It couldn't be a series.
Honestly, the last one we did, The Lies He Told Me, because of like
That would be like a spoiler.
yes, but it wouldn't tell me how I got there.
Yeah.
So
I was
maybe
thinking more
mystery,
towards murder
because
mystery
then-
because there's so much twistiness in it.
Because I feel like if you read the last page first and then you go back to the beginning, you'd be like, what? So it would still be like, how did we end up there?
Yeah.
So I feel like that can still work.
Yeah, I agree, and I think it would have to be like single books. It can't be a series.
Yeah. Could you imagine like Fourth Wing?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like
Mhm.
every single one of the Fourth Wing books, like
The
any
last
of the
page, the craziest shit.
the Crescent City series.
The
Book
last
2?
page. I'm thinking about specifically the last page. Well, I guess it says if you had to read it backwards, so you'd have to read the whole thing backwards. I think mystery would be the best way because it'd be unraveling the mystery from the
I agree.
to that.
Yeah, because I was thinking mystery and thinking novels only for mystery. Also, any series murder mysteries are always like a different mystery in. It's like the same characters, but it's a different. Like, for example, a good one for that would I don't know, maybe a good example of that would be what's her name? Karen's gonna come to me. She has like a 10-book series where it's like detectives and they do murder mysteries.
Mhm.
So it's like the same kind of detectives, but each one is a different mystery.
Yeah.
So I think that would be okay.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I
I
think
think mystery would be the way to go.
I'm not I'll be there. If I could only read books where someone dies in the first chapter,
Well,
I wouldn't mind.
I don't mind either. We've read books where that has happened.
Yeah.
And it's wild,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't be like opposed to it.
Yeah, I think it's entered in there as a shock factor, and I think it'll be just fine because I mean you don't really build a relationship with them in the first chapter anyway. And then
I mean, if we're picking one though, it would be
yeah, the first one, but yeah, I really like that.
yeah. If I can only read books, that would definitely get me kicked out of a book club.
You're in the wrong book club.
We need to find a book club.
Create your own.
Yep, that's what I did because nobody can kick me out. We all know that I'm bossy, and that's the best way for me to do it. If they're gonna kick you out,
Yeah.
find a new book club. They're gonna judge you. Seriously judge you.
Yeah, not teens judge you, but like mean girl judge you.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking about our book club. Obviously, I can't be kicked out. I can't think of a scenario with our group that there would be anything that we would be like, you're done.
I think we all kind of like lightly tease each other.
Yeah,
the majority of the
but
time.
nobody like seriously like.
Yeah, and none of it's like malicious. I'm also like wondering what kind of book would be kicking you out of book club. What kind of genre? What was it?
I don't know. If I could only read books, that would definitely get me kicked out of book club. So what genre would that be though? Like spicy? You think?
Yeah, I would imagine like inappropriate.
Alright, guys, get a new book club. Moving on.
Yeah, find your tribe. And if I could only read books my therapist was worried about,
That is my current state.
I don't know, probably honestly all of my serial killer murder mystery ones, because some of them get like real descriptive and like really dark.
Yeah, I would say
And-
that or like real dark romance.
my dark romances are pretty good.
To a therapist. To me.
Read this. It's like this.
Oh my god. You gotta read it.
That's so many. Speaking of, have you read that one?
No. I got caught up in everything else. I need to start it over. It was like months ago.
Do the second one. We'll talk about that.
Alright.
Are you agreeing? What books would your therapist be worried about?
I feel like it's referring to like
Oh,
spicy or serial killer type.
yeah, but what books? Hang on, what is it?
She'd probably be concerned by
The Bachman book? If I could only read books by therapist, yeah.
oh,
Oh, yeah. Okay, I misunderstood it. Well, I'm not reading, so whatever.
That's what I'm saying.
It
Like,
doesn't matter.
what do you mean if I can only read that? Because I feel like everything that would be considered like worrisome to therapists. Stuff I read already. It doesn't change.
Yeah, you're not. Oh, this is a good one. If every book I read had to have a movie adaptation I hated,
I'm bringing it up. I'm bringing it up.
Poke the Bear.
The worst. One of the worst book to movie adaptation. I have two right now. The one that triggers me so hard every time that was Divergent. If I had to suffer through that with like every book that I liked, having to watch a movie that was
That bad of
that bad of an adaptation, I would. Oh my god! I probably stop reading because I feel like it's just ruining everything. I'm just so angry. That one and Aragon
Oh, the first one?
was so bad. That's the second time I brought up Aragon, and the only thing that saved that movie was Saphira was so cute when she was a baby.
When she hatched from the egg?
Yeah, but that movie was trash. They are making a series,
I was about to say, I thought it was a
so
HBO, right?
I'm really hoping that turns out good. But
I like that they're going
I guess
back
I'd
to
be-
the adaptations.
I mean, reading Divergent a lot. You know what I mean? Like that was hard.
Divergent. Divergent was really bad. I don't have as many strong feelings as with the you do.
That's like always hard.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of some other ones. I don't know. I feel like a lot of times that, especially with fantasy, I mean, with murder mystery, I get like that would be really good, like movie adaptation. But like with fantasy and like mainly fantasy, I don't think that they should do it as like live action. I think it would be really good as a animated or something because here's my thought. It's either it needs to be really good quality, and who's going to have that much of a budget right off the bat?
Yeah.
You know, like
They have to be able to put time
they have to
into it. Like they have to have multiple movies or
yes, they have to be able to be like greenlit for the series, or if they're gonna, they need to have a high budget, especially for the first one, because it's gonna be very, literally, what, the half of the book is gonna be CGI and
Yeah.
fantasy, and I also think it's really hard to like get into it if it's like bad CGI. You know, and then they're like obviously talking to a green screen. So I think a lot of it would be really good because I know they're talking about a Red Rising adaptation into a series. And I'm like really worried about that because it's literally in space.
Well, also, there's so much that happens in those books. So much. To fit the detail that they would need to fit into that.
It needs to be like these series. The series
Well,
that are movie book or book to movie. It really needs to be a show, unless it's like a novel to a movie. But if it's like a series like Red Rising or Crescent City or whatever, it really should be a series, and I think it would be better animated because you're going into it knowing it's going to be an animation versus it's going to be a live adaptation, and then you're like, I feel like it would be, if you have a high budget and a good animation, it would be really, really good. The visuals, like, they'll be able to do a whole lot more. You don't have to worry about stunts or, any of that. I think it would be really good as an animation. Just my food for thought there.
If I can only read books that feel like fever dream. One we did recently, where I believe we actually referred to it as a fever dream in the episode.
Several times.
Mexican Gothic. That was a wild ride.
Yeah.
It was the greatest way. It wasn't like,
This is one that came out of left field, and it was just like, what is going on?
I wasn't expecting it to be a fever dream, and then it was not in a great way. Like, Alice in Wonderland, great fever dream.
Yeah.
That, not a great fever dream.
Yeah, I agree.
So, I feel like it could be good if I only got to read those, but I really don't like some of those. So maybe if I'm
unreliable character, narrator.
Oh yeah, I do love the best.
Yeah. I wouldn't be a reader. Be a reader 25% of the time, and then I'd be upset, and then read it. I think I could do fever dreams more than I could do unreliable. Because I think
really?
because I try and like piece together like what is going on. Because that's how I felt with Mexican Gothic versus unreliable narrator. Like sometimes I lie because I'm like,
I feel like other than the one just the part, of sometimes I lie, I feel like I would have liked that better than Mexican Gothic. The one like subplot line.
No, I know what you're talking.
I could have done without that. But like if we're talking like that compared to that, I would choose unreliable narrator.
I think I'd choose the fever dream, but not.
Well, if I'm choosing, I'm saying between those two specific groups.
Yeah. Okay. Between those two books, yes. Sometimes LA is better.
Okay. Great.
Okay. But I'm also thinking like fever dream good, like Alice in Wonderland versus unreliable narrator just being unreliable.
Yeah.
If I had to read only 1-star good reviews out loud before starting.
Honestly, I low-key want to do this.
I think it'd be hilarious.
I think it would be so funny.
We should add that into the podcast.
Reading bad reviews.
Yeah, like draw it up. Draw the thing and be like, 1-star review from, and then start it.
It would be so funny. It's interesting to me to read 1-star reviews on books that I really love to see what they say. Sometimes it's just so off the wall. It's hilarious. Yeah. So honestly, I would probably find doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think it would be fun.
I can do it.
Or you could be like, they were totally right.
Keep an eye out for a future episode where we're reading bad reviews.
Last one.
I can only read books where the cover makes absolutely no sense. I mean, we kind of already touched on this with the like really bad ones. I'm trying to think of ones that like don't make sense. Because while I think the romance ones are like horrible, they make sense.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just
thinking about the books that have like that are just like artwork almost,
Yeah.
Just like abstract artwork.
That one on my shelf, the Every Last Secret. That one was kind of weird. I thought she was like in a lake or something.
I thought she was in a pool.
Oh, I think that's what it's supposed to be. But
is the one in the pool?
They were just at the pool because they had a pool in the backyard.
They never went swimming.
Well, so there you go. You're making me sense.
Yeah.
Also, even if they had, it would have been so minuscule. But like, how is that the cover? Like, how does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't really think too much on this. Honestly, I try not to put too much consideration into the book covers, but I mean, they're there for a reason. I think if the book was recommended to me and it had a bad cover, I just, okay, I guess.
Yeah,
You know?
I don't think I'd be like, oh no, I'm not reading it on cover, but specifically the ones that I read, and then I'm like, why is this the cover?
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, but that's the end of our bookish what ifs.
What if?
Let us know if you have any interest in any of those. If you have any interesting ones.
Or if you have any what if scenarios for us.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to answer those. Or if you interpreted any of these different than we did. Nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Next week, back to the TBR.
TBR guide. We should have a theme song for that.
That's what I said in the other.
Did you?
I said we should have a jingle.
What kind of jingle bit? That's right.
Yeah.
Jingle it.
Yeah, but you were trying to do this.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then you were like, I can't do it at the same time.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. Next week we will be reading Powerless by Lauren Roberts.
Another hype one.
It is
I love it.
It is. I think it has its own like.
Yeah. I'd say it's pretty big on like book talk and stuff. So.
Yeah. That's exciting, and it's fantasy, and we're in our fantasy season right now. So here we come. So now's your chance to grab a copy and meet us here next Sunday. We'll have thoughts.